Part of the charm of the town of Duck, in addition to the Mayberry-esque feel that town manager Drew Havens and I spoke about, are the numerous events hosted by the town right here in the heart of Duck in the town park. We're proud to provide something fun for anyone and anyone visiting Duck, or if they live here. There's always something going on, and these events take part of the especially crafted Duck experience that was discussed in a previous episode. Today we're joined by Community Engagement Coordinator Betsy Trimble. Betsy's responsible for the coordination and execution of town events over the course of the year. And while a few of the town signature events have slowly started this month, as we approach the summer season, things really ramp up mid-June. And Betsy's here today to tell us about all the town events. And with that being said, welcome, Betsy. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me, Kay.
Sure. So we're going to talk about events, and we'll definitely get to that. But let's talk about what you do, because when we say you're a community engagement coordinator, it's kind of a dual-sided role, and there's a lot more that goes into it. So let's just start off by, can you explain what it is that you do with the events, but also with the community itself?
So what I do with the events is I'm the coordinator for the events of the town, which means I talk with the performers and their agents and get a schedule together, get the budget together for it, try and get a good mix of things going on. That's something that, while the person coming in this week may not like this style of music, if they were here next week, they'd like that style of music, kind of thing. Just mix it up so that there's something for everyone, at least most of the time. And I engage with the community. That the title says it all.
Yeah,
I think
if anyone's been to an event, they've probably seen you.
They know who I am, I think. I will be walking around town and someone will say, "Weren't you just on stage at the magic show?" And I will say, "Yes," and I got off as quickly as I could because you were not there to see me tell you about stuff.
But let's go back to, and there's another part that I would like you to touch on too, because an important part of running these events are the volunteers, and that's something that you also, we could do a whole, and I'm sure we will do a whole other episode about volunteering in the town, but you recruit and train and prepare not only volunteers for being a volunteer, but, to have a hand in these events as well. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
That is also true. Yes, I am also the volunteer coordinator for the town, and currently we have just over 150 active volunteers. And that stems everything from residents to people that just come in for one weekend out of the year. They really like the jazz festival and they want to be a part of it. So I see them once a year and they work 2 hours, but they love it. So that can also be a bit complicated, trying to get the training done for everybody when they don't really live here. And but yes, recruitment, and we're always looking for volunteers. And of course, we're going to plug volunteers as much as we can.
Absolutely.
Because this town, we are shameless in our questioning and asking for volunteers. The main thing about volunteers, though, is that we are a very active and engaged community. That's one of the unifying principles in our vision statement, the active, engaged community. It's the best way to get to know people. You will make a friend that you never would have met otherwise. And this community always comes together. It always answers the call when we call for it. And honestly, if we didn't have them, I probably wouldn't have a job, because we would not be able to do a majority of the programs and events that we do without them.
And it's pretty palpable, the pride that our community has in seeing these events. And, year after year, you can see the same people at every single event. And so whether you live here or not, I mean, like you make a great point. What better way to get to know your community and make friends and come back year after year. So thank you for all that you do. And thank you to the volunteers. I know that we have some that are diehard listeners 2 episodes in. So thank you to them. And I'm sure we'll have an episode all about volunteering in the town, because it is a very important part of our vision statement in our unifying principles here. So,
and I think they keep me in line too. They say I keep them in line, but I think there's a lot of that other way around too. Especially about August time, when I'm just like, what is going on?
Let's get into talking about these events. It's a full course of events, but let's focus on mostly the summer events. And when you think summer, I mean, you're not starting to plan these in May, the week before. It's not just, let's have a concert next week. When do you actually start the planning process for summer events?
That's a trick question, because it doesn't stop. I mean, you have a plan together. You know what you want. So let's just take the concerts, for example. We have 14 weeks of concerts. So during those 14 weeks, things are happening, things are great. I may have a musician in the audience come up and say, how do we get onto this stage? We would love to do that. So I say, send me your information, and give them my email, give them my phone number, and they will. I already have a 2025 folder ready with, I can't tell you how many people that want to enter. So it doesn't actually stop. So while it's fresh in my mind, I'm going to come back to the computer and start listening to what that group has and, see if they would be a good fit for us. So I guess the real answer is, as soon as they conclude for 24, you start planning for 25. But the honest answer is it doesn't actually stop.
Right. It's an ongoing puzzle. And
Yeah.
I know, having sat down with you a few times to go over summer events and the scheduling, it really is a giant puzzle. And I don't even want to say a puzzle, really. It's kind of a riddle.
It's more of a riddle. You're right, because you have your 14 weeks of concerts. You don't want 5 weeks in a row of country and then 10 weeks of just cover. You want to mix all of the genres that you can.
Right.
And then not just that, you're working with 14 different people's schedules, some of which are touring, some of which live here and they have a standing gig somewhere. It is a riddle and a puzzle all wrapped into an enigma or something along those lines. I don't know.
And then to add, another wrench into that, not only do you work to have them here in Duck, but you also collaborate with neighboring communities as well, so that, more people that come to perform here in Duck, they can, essentially get the most out of their trip down here. And it kind of helps sometimes, to just give them that little extra nudge. So what other communities do you work with?
I work very closely with the town of Nags Head and town of Manio and the Dare Arts Council. We started working with the Pioneer Theater as well, just especially if it's a regional act that comes in that I think would be work well across all of the towns, because the bottom line there is we're not each other's competition in the summer. We're just not. And we want the whole community to thrive. So if we can bring some really great performances and share that with everyone, that's going to help everyone. But not just the regional acts, but they're like, oh, we need some local acts. Yes, tell me who you've had. I've never heard of them. Great. Like, oh my gosh, they were perfect. Let me have them. It's great teamwork is what it is.
Right.
And I really enjoy working with those other planners, because you also get some brainstorming of, oh, well, we do this here. That's a really good idea. We haven't tried that here. And just whatever it is,
right.
You just have a sounding board for each other.
Right. And I've seen that kind of evolve a little bit more over the past few years. And it's pretty neat to see how, it is a collaboration. And I think that that's something really special that, I don't know, I would even go as far as saying that you can only find here in the Outer Banks, because we are so small and it is truly unique. So, yeah, thanks for doing that too. It is pretty fascinating when you actually take a step back and think about that. So some of these events have already started to begin, as I already mentioned, and those mainly being fitness. But let's kind of start with the fact that everything begins mid-June. So let's go through it. Let's just tackle them one at a time. So if someone's coming to Duck and you're looking for something to do, there's a free event, and we'll get to that. They are free. Actually, let's just start there. We're just gonna go with the flow here. They're
right.
Free events.
They're all free, non-ticketed events, from our fitness classes to our concert on the green to our Duck Jazz Festival. They are non-ticketed, and they are free and open to anyone that wants to come in and wants to participate.
And people might be wondering, how is that possible?
Well, a lot of hard work. But no, for the first and foremost, it is the generous support of the town council. So they allow KU and myself to put this budget together, to bring these in, and they understand and appreciate the impact that these events bring to the community. And it brings business, it brings people who've never been here, and exposure. They just understand that and appreciate that. So they are always supportive of what we do, and they keep wanting. They want us more. I mean, it gets bigger every year. Like, eventually I might pop. I don't know, but it's so far I'm holding it together. But we also do go around and we try and solicit sponsorships from local businesses. We will also apply for grants and all that kind of thing to supplement the funding. I mean, it is in the budget, but we do try and supplement to get some revenue in there to offset it.
Right. And that's also really neat too, because we talk about having an active, engaged community, and another unifying principle. I love how nicely these unifying principles play into everything we talk about. It's like it's on purpose. It just happens naturally. But we also want a thriving, vibrant business community. And by having these sponsorships, it allows businesses to participate and give back in that community feeling, therefore creating that specially curated duck experience. So when we go through these events, if you would like to also mention some of the sponsors that we have, because you'll see them when you promote these events on social media, and even on the website, you'll see the businesses listed as well. So I think it's important to recognize them. And, if you're visiting in Duck and you attend one of the events and you decide to check out one of the business locations of one of our sponsors, definitely thank them for their support of our community, because we truly couldn't do it without them. So that being said, let's just go from the beginning. Like I said, let's start on Monday.
All right. Here we go. Monday is actually staff meeting day, so we don't really do too much of that. No, Monday is get ready for the week, basically, for me, because we all know what Saturday and Sunday looks like out on that road in the summer. So our events focus Tuesday through Thursday of the week. Mm-hmm. Every now and then they'll go to a Friday, maybe a Monday, but for the most part, it's Tuesday through Thursday. So we give people a chance to get into town, get settled. You had a couple of days at the beach. Perhaps you are extra crispy now, and you're like, I got to do something else. I cannot be out on that hot sand anymore.
Kids out of the house.
Exactly. Kids out of the house. Come to the park. There's something going on. But our Tuesday and Wednesday mornings are always for our fitness classes. On Tuesday morning at 7:30 in the morning, we have yoga on the green. And that is generously supported by Village Realty and led by Village Yoga here in the town of Duck. On Wednesday mornings at 7:30, we have a dynamic flow with a local trainer, Daniel Altoff. That is generously supported by Duck's Cottage Coffee and Books and Downtown Books, because what else do you want to do after you do an early morning fitness? You want to grab a cup of coffee, right?
And another book.
And another book.
Because your Mount to be read stack is never too big.
Said by somebody who has a stack that high, I believe.
Guilty as charged.
Mine is not that as large as yours, but it's getting taller than I am, that's for sure.
And, with the yoga and the dynamic flow, that's all skill levels. You don't have to be experienced. Do they have to bring their own mat if they come to yoga?
You will want to bring a mat or a towel with you, because you will be laying on the grass. It's a little wet, little dirty,
dewy, little dewy.
A little dewy.
But the nice thing is, too, that happens so early in the morning, and, part of the green is shaded. So it's not like you're going to be in the morning sun. You still have that, take this with a grain of salt, but the cool summer
correct
morning air. It might be a little bit cooler. I can't guarantee anything with the humidity, but it is very pleasant. So you don't have to have any experience. Definitely if you bring a mat, if you have one with you, but it's always a great crowd, and it's a great time to kind of start the day with, a little bit of a reset, a mindful reset.
And there's the instructors are great. They always will give you modifications. They will always just give you options of, okay, here's what we're doing. But if you're not feeling that this morning, maybe try this, or maybe try. So it's an all levels class. Both of them are. Everyone kind of knows what yoga is, but I'm going to try and describe dynamic flow a little bit more, because don't be afraid of it, because you don't know what it is. It's a lot of fun. Dan's motto is movement is a privilege, not a chore. And you will learn, if you don't already appreciate that, you certainly will. As he puts it, just ask anybody with mobility issues, and they will tell you that what you're doing out there is a privilege. So that is a blend of several fitness disciplines. It includes yoga, it includes mixed martial arts, it includes more the Pilates. It kind of has a little bit of everything in it, and it's just a lot of fun. So I always encourage people to come out and try that at 7:30 on Wednesday mornings.
I love that. Movement as a privilege, and that's awesome. Some people, here's your chance. If you are kind of having that aha epiphany moment, come check out fitness. And if you can't make it,
yes, you just read my mind. Yes, so we do stream the classes every week on our Facebook page. So, and then the video is posted afterwards. So you don't have to be there at 7:30 in the morning. If you're at your house,
you don't even have to be here.
You don't have to be here. If you're at your house in Montana and you're like, Town of Duck is live with yoga, I want to do that. Great. Every week. Come on and do it with us.
You're up Absolutely. A lot earlier than 7:30 Eastern Standard Time.
Well, maybe they haven't, work from home and it's an East Coast-based job. I don't know. It could be any number of things now.
But yeah, those are available, and I think that's great too, because we also see some people will comment later on, like, oh, I couldn't join this morning, but I just did it after work. So
Right.
that's nice. You make it accessible for anyone.
And then you have the people that really, oh, I've never done that. I enjoyed that. I have to go home next week, but they can log on and do it from home too.
Or even if you're listening and you kind of want to see what it is, if you want to do some research and development, as it were.
We've been posting them for the last 4 weeks.
Check it out. Yeah. So, all right.
Those are rain or shine, by the way.
That's right.
So,
they are.
Because we can stream them, we're going to hold the class either way. Now, if there's lightning, that's a different story. But I will say Wednesday it was raining, and we just moved it under the cover of the stage. It's easy enough, and still streamed it. So
nice.
Because rain happens.
It does
regardless
happen.
whether they want to or not. And that's another important point, though, is everything that we do, all of our events, with the exception of the concerts, because that's just a lot bigger scale, can be moved inside if there's bad weather. A magic show, we can move inside the meeting hall. We will let you, so it will continue on. It just may not be in the location we ideally want it to be in.
And how are those delays or cancellations, anything like that? How's that communicated? Where can people find that information?
The best way to find that information is through our social media, because as soon as I make a decision and it's done, we will be posting it and putting it on the website. The social media will be first, because that will reach the most audience. But that's the internet's the best way to do it. I can't just put a bullhorn out on and
right,
like screaming it out. But just I try, if I see rain's going to happen during the week, I do try and make a couple of extra posts saying, hey, rain happens, but just know this, we can move it inside. So, stay tuned. Just keep
so it's already tuned on people's radar.
Right.
No pun intended. Absolutely intended.
Of course it was.
All right. So we've got Monday and Wednesday, but there are other things that also happen on Wednesdays too, correct?
Correct. We have stuff on Tuesday, more Tuesday stuff.
Oh, let's start there.
Yeah, we're going to start at the beginning.
Jumping ahead. I'm excited about the Wednesday one.
I'm excited about all of it. I'm excited to be outside again. So Tuesdays, we do our movies on the green. So that's not every Tuesday. Now, everything we're talking about, except for the fitness, is not every single week. So we'll address that later too, but all of that is on our website, all that information.
We're about to throw a lot of information at you, so don't feel pressured to remember all of this off the top of your head. Check our website for more specific information as far as dates and times and locations. And again, social media, that's going to have everything there. So this is kind of just an overview, as it were, because there is a lot of information because there are a lot of events.
Right.
So
Tuesdays, we do movies. So we will have 4 of them during the summer. We had 2 before the summer. We'll have 2 in the fall. We set up a big movie screen, and the titles vary. I believe this year we've got coming up Super Mario Brothers, Toy Story, Shrek, and The Sorcerer's Apprentice. And then in the fall, we're going to have Back to the Future and Hook to play. They're a lot of fun.
That's a solid lineup.
Oh, yeah. You want to bring your bug spray.
Definitely bring your bug spray.
Definitely bring your bug spray. But it's a lot of fun to just sit outside and watch a movie.
Yeah, where do you get
on
to
a big
do that?
Screen. It's out on the green.
It's out on the green, under the stars, in Duck.
And again, if it rains, we can move it inside.
Yeah. And you just bring your beach chairs, your blankets.
Absolutely.
A cooler with your dinner,
Yep.
Bring the kids. It's a great time. Something different. Again, where else can you go sit outside under the stars and watch a movie?
Right.
And again, solid lineup.
Well, thank you.
Pretty stoked on all these.
That was the hardest thing, actually, was picking the titles. But
I feel like it's almost, just as fun because a lot of these are like throwback movies. And I remember, when you and I were talking about it, like it was a lot of fun, like a blast from the past, talking about these movies and quoting them and talking about my affinity for Shrek.
Right. I'll let you cover that night. I'm going home that night. Go get some sleep. So starting in June, we will start having our Tuesday morning shows at 10 o'clock in the amphitheater, and that can be any number of shows. I like to have entertainment as well as edutainment. A nice little mix of things. Edutainment. That's what we do. So in terms of the entertainment, that is the day we do our variety show series. And we have 4 shows this summer. That is going to be national acts that come. Actually, the first one is a juggler that comes from California just for this event, and then he goes back.
Wow.
He did it one year. I got him, somehow I convinced him to do it the first year. And he just absolutely loved the venue, loved the audience, loved everything. He's like, can I do that again? And I'm like, yes, you may. That event is sponsored in part by Urban Cottage. So they are a big help with that. We also have brand new this year, storytellers coming. So the first one of that is edutainment, in that it is Keeper James, who wrote a book about shipwrecks down at the graveyard of the Atlantic, and he's going to be relaying stories, and he is amazing. You will think you are there while he's telling you stories. He comes in full-on lightkeeper garb, so I'm sure he's going to be quite warm up there on that stage, but he's very fascinating to listen to. We have 2 people coming from Richmond as well to do a couple of events of that. We also new this year are going to do a drumming circle, and that's going to be in the amphitheater. I've got a couple of those. And if you've ever wanted, okay, and let's be clear, do not go near the Corolla wild horses or within 50 feet of them up while they're wild. So if you really want to meet one, come to our Corolla Wild Horse Fund event, where they are going to have a horse that has been taken out of the herd for whatever reason, and it is their outreach. So you can pet the horse, you can see the horse. That's the only time you can be that close to the horse.
Yes. And there's a very specific reason why that horse has been removed, and they cover all of that. Is it Riptide?
Riptide is one. They have 2 now.
Okay.
So Riptide, I believe, is going to come one day, and I don't remember the name of the other one, but the other one's going to come the second time.
Last year we had Riptide out on the green, and that was the first time we had ever done that, and that was great.
It was awesome.
There were a lot of people that showed up and left with a lot more knowledge about, what they do as the Corolla Wild Horse Foundation and the importance of preserving this wildlife and how to respect it. So we can't stress that enough. Do not go near them out on the beach, 50 feet. But you have a chance to come take a picture, pet one, and
learn about them. Right. Learn about why they're here, why you shouldn't do it.
Right.
All that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm really excited about them coming back.
Me too. That was
very
fun.
excited. And the Corolla Wild Horse event is sponsored by Carolina Designs. They're really big on education, and so whatever educational events we have, they're super interested in being a part of that. We have a family music time that's going to start this year too. Now that's actually going to be on a Thursday once a month. We have the Ascension Music Academy coming in, and that one's geared more towards families with young children, because it's going to be rhythm play and just singing songs, and it's a lot of fun. We did it for Jazz Festival last year, and so I had to have her back for the summer.
Oh, absolutely.
It was great. It was a great find.
And Kathy is amazing.
She's amazing.
So sweet, and she's so great with kids. And I mean, let's be real. I think that all of us, when we were that age, we wanted nothing more than to bang on pots and pans.
Right.
So,
right. So she lets you do that.
Yeah.
She brings all the instruments with her. Absolutely. The returning family favorite is on Wednesday, and I think that's what you're kind of getting excited about.
I think that's what people are.
They're waiting on it.
Yep.
It's okay. It's okay. Y'all can calm down. Clive Allen will be back. He and Heather Lynn are going to be back for 8 weeks, as they usually are. Over the course of the summer, they're going to have some weeks they're not coming, but it is going to be 8 weeks total. And that's another one that they come down, they drive down from Pennsylvania on Tuesday, do our show on Wednesday morning, and drive back. They love it that much. The magic show this year is sponsored by Kellogg Supply Company and the Cottage Shop. So they have some giveaways they're going to have. So come on and see them. Like, I was just told yesterday that they do have some new acts that they're bringing in. So
cool.
not new acts, I guess, new illusions
for
us to see. And,
new magic. Ooh.
New magic. So it's kind of exciting. I really enjoy having them too. They're a lot of fun.
What's your favorite trick that they do?
It's one they don't do all the time, but he has these little red balls, and he brings an audience member up, and he puts two in her hand, or his hand, into one person's hand, and he's got one in his, and then he's doing it, and she's like, that person just she never opens her hand, and then he does something over here, and then he's like, oh well, where is it? Here they are, and she opens her hand, and it's gone. Like, it's
how? I don't know. That's what's so exciting. I mean, even seeing them, it's fascinating. Yeah, that one's really cool. I do like the carrot guillotine one.
That one's fun. That's nice and scary. I like.
Yeah, and it's always fun watching the kids' reactions. So
right.
That's always a great one, and I think it's pretty neat that they come down just for that, just like the juggler.
Absolutely.
That says a lot right there. So
Oh yeah, says a
definitely,
lot
if
for
you're,
us
if
as a
you're
town.
listening, put that on your calendar, put it on your phone. You don't want to miss that. It's great.
And sadly, I cannot record that one. He won't let me record his, but that's okay. I can record some other ones. Or find them on YouTube. You can find almost any of these acts. And I have links to them on the website too. So if you're like, what is this? Making juggling tolerable? What in the world? Check it out. His YouTube videos are hilarious. I mean, he juggles a child.
What?
Yeah. Juggles a child.
Juggles a child.
Mm-hmm.
I think some parents could argue that they have to juggle their children too.
Yeah, I don't think it's the same way. And with the Thursday nights always a fun night around here. That is our concert on the green. That is every genre you can think of. Maybe not every genre, but we do try and get a good mix of genres out there. Regional, local musicians come to the band. They're at 6:30 to 8 o'clock. I say every Thursday. It's from June 13th through September 19th, except for the 4th of July this year. There's going to be a group out there. And again, bring your blankets, your chairs, your coolers.
Bug spray.
Bug spray, sunscreen, because it's still hot.
Your dancing shoes.
That's right, your dancing shoes.
Yeah, dancing
Absolutely.
is accepted and encouraged.
Exactly. I get a lot. That's probably the one I get the most questions about off season. So who you bring back? Who you have this year?
Yeah, there's a lot of
Who are you
anticipation.
most excited about?
Mm-hmm.
And we're very fortunate again to have Twitty and Company as our presenting sponsor on that as well.
Nice. And that's always fun too, because you're kind of getting towards the end of the week when people are here. So it's almost like a little people, I don't know, maybe it's like their last actual day of vacation, because Friday you start getting in that mindset of, oh, we got to start packing. It's almost time to leave. So
right.
Thursday's kind of like a celebration of the week. Like I kind of feel like that jovial feeling when you're out there. And it's always fun. You always meet people, and it's neat seeing, people that don't even know each other end up hanging out and talking and making these connections. So it's just a great community event, and you have a great lineup and a great variety. There's really something for everyone. If you've never heard of a band, still come. It's a great time.
Absolutely.
Live
you
music.
might find that you really enjoy them.
And you also do something really well too, looking at demographic trends as far as, who primarily visits at what point during the summer. So the music kind of aligns with that too. And that's something that goes into the overall planning. Because, in August, you start to see the families with the younger children taper off, and you can have different groups. So that is something that people might not recognize as important when you go into planning this type of thing, but it is.
And the other piece of that puzzle enigma, everything we're talking about, is sometimes we will have repeat groups. So last year, whatever week Clive the magician was not here, I try and make sure he's here that week this year.
Right.
Because I know there are families and groups that come the same week every year. Mm-hmm. And while you may have been disappointed that you didn't see him last year, I had a percussion duo that was awesome. So they're like, oh, well, yes, I wouldn't have seen that if we're gonna.
Yeah.
So you just want to give everybody the variety. And I mean, yes, he's wonderful, and you can see him again next year. But I try and make sure that the people coming back don't do the same weeks that they did the previous time they were here.
Right. And that's also nice too, just for everyone, mix it up. So another important piece of that riddle, puzzle, enigma. Those are the daily events that happen throughout the summer, but there is a big signature event that takes place on the 4th of July.
That is correct.
Yes. It's everyone's favorite. We have a 4th of July parade and community celebration. So tell us about that.
It is happening on Thursday, July the 4th. We do always have it on July 4th unless it falls on a weekend. And then we have to move it to Friday or Monday. But right now it's on a Thursday this year. So we're going to have that. The parade starts at 9 o'clock down at the Scarborough Lane Shops parking lot. That's where the staging area is. But it goes down Scarborough Lane, to the ocean, takes a left on Ocean Way, and then comes down Christopher and ends at Pamela Court. So it's about a 1 mile course.
And never goes on Duck Road.
Nothing happens on nothing goes on Duck Road. But you do want to get there early, and you may not want to walk all the way down to the water, but that's where the least amount of people are. So,
and you're talking about Ocean Way.
Yes.
So when you come onto Scarborough or Christopher, just keep going
walking.
Down.
And the further you go down, the less people you will see.
Yeah.
I know it's a walk, but it will be worth it.
Mm-hmm.
I promise you it will be worth it.
And if you want those giveaways, you have more space to get them. Whereas if you're in the crowds, it's a little bit harder to get.
Exactly. And there are some giveaways this year, believe me. If you've always wanted to be a part of the parade, though, registration is free. It's required, but it's free. All of this information, again, is on the website, which, of course, we will be plugging later and later. But it's a Google form, very simple, straightforward. You submit it. I will let you know it's received, and then I will send you information for the staging information the week of. We have the parade, and then after the parade is done and the sea of people has crossed Duck Road, that is the biggest holdup right there.
Right.
But
we do it safely.
We do it safely.
Our
public safety is out there helping with directing the traffic, so it's all done as safely as we can. You can head over to the park, where we're going to have some live music, snow cone truck, and watermelon and water for you to enjoy, as well as the awarding of the parade trophies.
Ooh. And the snow cones and the watermelon is free.
It's also free.
It's also free.
Right.
It's a snow cone truck for free. Incredible. That's always a lot of fun. And there's live music as well. And it's just a great community event again. And there are judges that will judge the different entries and award those trophies. And we also have a grand marshal.
We do. Nancy Cavanis, who is a former town council member, a former Duck volunteer firefighter, very community member. If you know about the turkey trot that happened in Duck, was the race director. She's now retired. But she's moved away to New York, and she was able to make it her schedule work that she can come down, and she's going to be the grand marshal, and she is going to live it up.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Yeah, she's excited.
She's very excited.
She's very, very excited. And we're all excited, too. It's going to be a great opportunity to see a familiar face, and just, it's a big celebration of community, and we all love it. And it's one thing that Duck is known for, and it's definitely, when you see it and you experience it, it's that small town Mayberry-esque type thing again.
Absolutely.
There's no other way to describe it. It's over around, I'd say, like noon or so. So
11:30. The music usually stops around 11, and so that's about the time people kind of want to get onto the beach and start getting to their cookouts and all that good stuff. So
you have plenty of time.
Yeah.
You can do the parade, and whether you want to watch it or participate, you can do that, and then come to the town green, and then you have the rest of the day. So just remember, though, no fireworks, no sparklers.
Nope,
No,
none.
You got to go somewhere else for that.
That's right. Don't set them off yourself.
Yes.
Don't have them. Don't do lanterns. Nope. All of them are illegal. So
no
sorry.
Balloons, no balloon releases.
No balloon releases.
No. And that's something else that, with the parade, if you do decide to participate as an entry, you can have them as decorations, but we recently passed a balloon ban ordinance. So just be mindful of that. We're kind of discouraging that because we do care about our environment. And that being said, if you've ever wanted to be in a parade, here's your chance. There's, are we doing the bike?
We do have, yes, I'm sorry. Yeah, good point. We do have a section for children and bikes that if they want to just ride their bike, decorate their bike in the 4th of July, we have a little section for you. And it's going to be in the back of Scarborough Lane Shops. You'll find anybody in a volunteer shirt, and they'll point you in the right direction. If you have a dog that wants to walk in it, contact Outer Barks down at the waterfront shops, and Kevin and Robin Carey are the ones that lead that group. But you're welcome to be a part of that. Any veterans that are wanting to participate, we would like you all to lead the parade right behind the colors. So please feel free to contact me. I'm happy to give out any information.
Awesome. So you don't even need a float or a vehicle to participate. And one thing we haven't really talked about at all, everyone loves swag. Everyone loves merch. Everyone loves swag. I love a good merch table. I'm guilty. I will stop at any merch table that there is. We have merch. We actually have Town of Duck merchandise that you can purchase at any of these events. And you can even come to Town Hall as well and purchase them directly here. But what kinds of stuff do we have?
I mean, we got a little bit of everything.
Anything for anyone.
We have, yeah. I mean, we have not ventured into the t-shirts yet, but
not yet.
Well, it's a work in progress.
It's a thought.
It's not happening this year, but it's a work in progress. We of course have hats, and I mean, why? Of course, we have rubber ducks. You have to have rubber ducks, right? If you're in the town of Duck.
I feel like it's blasphemy.
It is, right? We have some plush ducks. We have rubber ducks. We have color changing ducks.
We have glitter ducks.
We have glitter ducks this year. You're right. We have glitter ducks. We have dog collars. We have water bottles, the notebooks. I mean, we have a little bit of everything. We try and have a little bit of good, a little bit of everything. But it is the only place you can purchase Town of Duck branded merchandise. Now, you can find something that says Duck, North Carolina almost anywhere. But if you want that specific Town of Duck.
And that's with the seal.
The seal,
with
the
the
logo.
sunset and 2 ducks. And It's actual Town of Duck merch.
It is legit.
Yes, legit. Makes a great souvenir, makes a great gift. There are a lot of people that actually do some Christmas shopping while they're here. So it's never too early.
That is
Here's
true.
your reminder.
But that's all available online as well. So you can check that out too.
It is. And I'll definitely do a recap here of where to get all this information because it is a lot.
It's a lot.
But it's fun stuff. We call ourselves the fun department.
It's the fun squad.
Yes, we
That's
are
us.
the fun squad. We are the fun squad. So, is there anything else you'd like to add before we wrap up?
We are just always looking for volunteers.
Mm-hmm. And how can anyone volunteer?
They can contact me directly. My email and phone number are available on the website. Or if you're just in town, I'm going to be outside. So just hunt me down. I will be happy to talk to you about it. I've actually gotten a couple of jazz volunteers from just talking with someone outside as I was putting up a new sign on the marquee. Mm-hmm. And they were asking me other questions. And they said, "Oh, we love the Jazz Fest. We come every year." I said, "Well, have you volunteered?" "No." "Well, why don't you?" And they're like, "Please put us on that list."
Yeah.
And so it's a lot of fun. And I've said it a million times. Not every job is glamorous, but they're all necessary. And if you're doing a concert, you can hear the music from anywhere that I am putting you.
But you're also, again, you get that pride. And, I think it's really special to be able to, if you're visiting, it's a very special feeling to visit somewhere, but to also give back. And here's your chance.
And we'll give you a t-shirt.
You get a t-shirt as well. But more importantly, it warms your heart.
That's right.
It warms your heart and you meet some great people. All right. Well, thank you, Betsy, for taking the time to talk with us and giving us all this information. I think it's a great episode and definitely listen to it, whether you're coming in June, July, or August. All this information stands. It's constant through the summer. So kind of bookmark this and save it for when you do visit. And yeah, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course.
Looking forward to see everybody out on the green and in the amphitheater and all around town.
Yes, and definitely say hi to Betsy if you're listening. If you see her out at an event, definitely say hi and thank our volunteers. And again, if you go into any of the businesses that sponsor these events, definitely thank them for their support because again, we couldn't do it without them. So that being said, thank you for listening to the Sitting Duck podcast. Make sure you like this episode, subscribe, and don't miss out. Make sure you stay up to date with all the new episodes that are coming out and share it on your social media so more people know about it. We really want to get the word out. We want people to follow along and listen and stay informed. And again, for the latest on what's happening around Duck, make sure you visit our website, townofduck.com. Thanks for listening.